Hello. You're listening to WNXP, Nashville's music experience, and we're Twen. Wow. Please stop the applause. Come on, we're trying to do something here. This next one's called Dignitary Life.
not a passerby. You are my kind. You are my kind. Our place outside. What's yours is mine. And the bleeding nerve is hard to sell, 'cause maybe it is, but maybe still. Could it be that we're acting out of play? If all the words are stage, I was born to win and sail. You are my kind. You are my kind. Our fates outside. What's yours is mine. You are my kind. 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 You
Sick. This one's called One Stop Shop for a Fading Revolution.
This morning I feel for my eyes wide right to open them. I just came to check the bloodshot curse from a reigning institution. There isn't always time. Feeling like one last chance for a guiding intuition. There isn't always time. Feeling like a one-stop shop for a meaning revolution. There isn't always time.
Hot dog is right. This next one's called HaHaHome.
Sausages. Here we go. Hit it, dog.
Really feels like home at Nashville's music experience here
Ha
at 91.1. Wow.
I'm coming, I'm so softly right back in my bed.
Twen. What an experience in Nashville.
Has the interview
Which
started?
thing? No, it hasn't.
Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Jason Moon Wilkins. This is WNXP, and this is Twen, Jane,
Hey.
and Ian.
What's up?
What's up?
I have to say, it's a real pleasure to be here with you because in 2019, when your record Awestruck came out, I had a stumble upon moment and ended up falling in love with that album, listening to it a lot. And then when we got a chance to start this radio station, one of the first things I thought was, that album did not get nearly enough attention. I'm going to play this, stuff some more. So you having new music and a real excuse to talk to you is great. But judging by, the bio kind of statement about this new album, it seems like maybe you guys feel the same about Awestruck. And what do you think maybe didn't happen that should have to get that record in more ears?
So much to unpack there.
I know.
So much to
And
unpack.
you do it on a public forum like this.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That I would flip the script on that. That
Okay.
I do think it didn't get enough attention, but for the wrong reasons. That I think we made it too soon.
Really?
So when we
Okay.
came to Nashville, we started playing shows, and we just got picked up by a producer saying you should record an album, and we probably shouldn't have done it that soon because we would have probably written better songs, grown a little bit. We were already touring, so I think we made it too early.
That goes
Really?
back to what
Okay.
we were just talking about pre-interview,
Yeah.
about bands getting scooped too early.
Yeah.
Which I think we probably got, God bless French Kiss, but it's like they probably scooped us up too early because we had some more growing to do. And in the time since Awestruck, we've really sorted our shit out.
Yeah, and there was a lot of hypey things happening there, so we
Sure.
felt hyped up, but it felt for no reason in my
Yeah.
mind. I don't think
Yeah.
that album was good enough to be hyped up, but I think this one is
Is.
really, really good.
Okay.
Yeah. So I
I
think
like
this-
them both. I mean, look.
This one's titty.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
look. You struck the one word where I can't keep a straight face. Now Emily knows this.
Yeah.
That's so great. No, really, I do. I hear what you're saying, and it is a situation. We've seen this really with bands who've developed in the pandemic too. They didn't even have the opportunity to go out live and figure out some of this stuff, and then they're thrust into these situations where, like you said, kind of hype machine, playlist, TikTok, whatever it might be, puts them in a spotlight that maybe they're not ready for. So, with you, I will say, I think the record was really great. I hear you, and you have shown this this movement in a different direction on this record, and specifically, Jane, I wanted to ask you vocally. I hear stuff in Brooklyn Bridge and in Fortune 500 that we didn't hear on the first record. And I wonder if that's part of it too. Is as a vocalist, you finding your voice in a different way on this album.
Oh, completely. I mean, at the time, we started the band and we started writing, and I just was doing it at any way I could, and I didn't really realize I wasn't, going all the way with it. In my head, I feel like I thought I sounded like what you hear on Brooklyn Bridge and
Yeah.
Fortune 500, but that is not what was happening. Only syllables. I was doing very Cocktail Twins style stuff,
Right.
and that was really fun, and that let me just move forward. And then through that process, learn what I can do, which is on this record.
Yeah.
So it was kind of just starting where I was.
I think the word I would use would be refinement. In that, on this record, Jane refined lyric after lyric after lyric, vocal melody after vocal melody. We would rewrite things 3 or 4 times, and on the first record, we didn't do any of that because
just whatever
and
came out first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and again, God bless the producer, but he was like, "It's good. You're good."
I'm like,
We're
really?
No, but we want to refine it. No, don't overthink it. You're good.
That
And
was the whole
that's
thing where I
what-
was like, "Are you sure? Are
Yeah,
you sure
yeah.
this is good enough?" And they'd
Yeah.
be like, "Yeah." And I thought I was in. They had been in it longer than I. I thought I was supposed to, be like, "Well, you think I'm
probably
this
know
is
best."
good. I guess I'll do it." But I think I knew at the time. Oh, I probably should do more to this. But
Yeah.
I was giving that power away to somebody else.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we wrote 20
Yeah.
songs, recorded 15, and chose 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jane, if you saw her notebooks, it's just page after page of
full to
refinement.
the brim. So.
Yeah. So we put a lot of work into it, and that's why her vocals
Yeah,
shine so
and
good.
that's how
Like
it will
you're
be
saying.
moving forward.
Yeah.
With the next album.
Well, and you make a good point too about it. It seems like between 2019 and now too, you've found this confidence to know that trust your instincts, and if your instinct is keep going and keep refining,
Do it. Yeah.
Yeah, do
Even
it.
if a older man in the music industry says this is great. Yeah.
I will try not to be the representative older man in the music industry. Yep,
We can only ever be what we are.
this is true.
But you're not yet what you could be.
Speaking of phrases we need to unpack, I love Dignitary Life. As you may or may not know, we play that song a lot because I want us to. And
Not enough.
You know, well, I can count the spins for you if you'd like me to, Ian.
Show me the paperwork. Yeah.
That's right. We have the
Just
data to
joking.
back it up. But with that, the refrain is "You are my kind," and I'm wondering who you're singing to with that.
Everybody. Yeah, I think with the song that it illustrates the best a piece of merch that I made to go with it, because I design all of our merch, and it's like it's a football jersey or shirt, as they say, of Team Humankind. So it's kind of just outside of right, left, forward, back, and just everybody, the
Yeah.
most general thing, and that's all.
That's good.
Well, like if you
Yeah.
if you think about it, like the whole lyric going up to that chorus is kind of talking about like it's like in groups and out groups. You remember that
Yeah, the
part.
people that have it, the
I'm just
people
trying to
that
help you
don't.
remember.
Yeah, the people in power, the people that don't have it.
Yeah.
It's just everything's split in two. So
Or it's kind of like you're only defined by what you aren't. You need like an out group in order to be in the in group. But then like on the chorus it comes around and says, "But you're my kind," because it's the yin yang thing.
Yeah.
It's in and out, up down, left right.
Yeah.
You know.
Everybody's everything.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So you are my kind.
There's a big life change for y'all between Awestruck and One Stop Shop in that you'd already outfitted the van, right? But you officially, during the pandemic, moved into it. It's become your full-time space. And I'm wondering with that decision, was part of it, hey, you're off the road, it's the pandemic, everyone's kind of figuring their stuff out. But did Nashville's housing affordability issues come into that at all?
Well, we actually moved out of an apartment or a house in 2018, so 2 years before the pandemic,
Oh, wow.
because it was so expensive, and because we Airbnb'd our house when we were going on tour, and we got kicked out because we weren't supposed to do that. But that's the only way that it made DIY touring affordable. So
Right.
we had been kind of bumbling around house sitting at like random studios for 2 years before the pandemic,
Oh, wow.
and I had bought the van purposely for building it out, but I knew it would take a long time. So I'm
Yeah.
glad I bought it when I did, because it kind of got it before the real big spike in auto prices.
The dip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it worked out great, because then during I hate to say it, but the pandemic worked out great for us, because when it happened, we had the time to be in one place and to build it out and to learn all the skills needed to do so, which took about 12 months, 9 months.
Yeah.
And that I think is what led to this whole album and everything moving forward, to realize you can just make what you want if you put the time into it. And
Yeah.
And you can afford the time.
Yeah.
Which the pandemic allotted us.
Which did, yeah.
Well, I was wondering about that too. Did it, did the creation of this, did the sort of the focus on, fully embracing that lifestyle, did it inform, what you're writing, how you're writing, and what went into this record?
100%, I would say. Yeah. Yeah. It couldn't have been, one couldn't have happened without the other, I don't
Yeah.
think. Just the confidence. Like, we learned how to make.
Yeah, we built
us-
our own home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's
Four
solar
wheels.
panels. I learned how to make an electrical system. We have plumbing. We have propane. Like, I did all those things, and for some reason, having like the confidence in the physical world of like that surrounds us everywhere and all the buildings that we're in all the time to know
Yeah.
how that works. I can write a song. I can market a song. Like
Songwriting.
like that's
Right.
easy peasy. Like, you just have to keep at it. You just have to show up every day. Like, that's all it is. So there isn't all these big scientific, laws of nature that I have to figure out to write a song. I just have to listen to what's going on in here.
Yeah.
And so made it easy.
I like that. Well, you bring I've told people, sometimes they ask about Nashville, and there's things to love and there's things to hate about it, like every other place. But I said, I think the people who stick around a lot of times realize that music is a job too, and you have to work at it, and it's something that the days you don't feel like it, you still do. And yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it seems like maybe that going through the solar panel, et cetera, experience, brought a little bit of that to bear.
Oh yeah, the grit, and then not every day is going to be great, and then like
Yeah.
a third of it's going to suck, a third of it's going to be all right, and the third of it's going to be the best. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
And some days you have to spend redoing what you did yesterday.
That's
That
very
happened a lot.
applicable. Yeah. Learned how to do tile, and that's very much about doing it over. Well, one last thing about the record. So, listening to all of it all the way through. Is One Stop Shop not only the title, but that song? Is it the manifesto? Is it the sort of statement song of the record?
okay, I guess I feel like I'm taking
Think
them all.
of it.
Yeah,
No, it's fine. I think of it as the overture.
Mm-hmm.
the
So,
scene.
In that, like, if that song hadn't have been first, you might not listen to the rest of the record in the way that you do. But because that is there, it sets a tone. It frames what everything else can be listened to in.
Yeah.
I love that song.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew when we were writing it, I was like, this is, I just really liked it.
Yeah, the phrase came really naturally. It was just that's how most of lyrics come. They're just random phrases that I build out to make sense to me.
Yeah.
And One Stop Shop for Fading Revolution is what came out, and Bloodshot Curse of a Reigning Institution. And those felt really true in many different contexts for me.
Give me another Nashville artist who wrote those lyrics. Come on.
Those
Bloodshot Curse of a Reigning Institution. Come
Well,
on.
it feels very big. It feels very small. It like, I don't know, I can view many different segments of my life and feel those in my phone, in the actual government, in like the news cycle, in the music industry,
Yeah.
and then in our own little world of like one-stop shop of like doing everything ourselves. And so, it all came from that.
Well, I lied. There's one more question. I love that you almost smack talked just in kind of a little bit, but I love in the statement, slash bio, whatever you want to call it about the record, that there is this influence of UK attitude. Obviously, there's some musical influences. I hear Pale Saints and different things like that in your music, but you also aren't afraid to call people out.
Our country
and
needs
engage.
it.
Yeah.
Our country desperately needs it right now. It's pretty. I mean, you know it. You're a DJ.
Right.
You know it. It's boring.
Some things are bad.
Really.
Some things are bad.
It's
Absolutely.
Okay to say
Yeah.
so, yeah.
Yeah, well, and I think it is something that have you spent time in the UK and Europe?
We've done 2 tours over in
Yeah.
Europe, and we've loved it.
Yeah.
We like Guinness too.
yeah.
Yeah.
And they're
They
keeping
like
it all
us,
to
we like
themselves.
them. Yeah.
And we're trying to bring it over here.
Well, how the bands really, and this goes all the way back, and obviously they had a music press that sort of fed this,
Yeah,
but
right.
it
Tabloid
is
machine,
kind of fun when, one band calls the other band out. And I lived over there for a little bit, and then I came back, I'm like, oh yeah, we don't do that here.
No.
Like no one says
everybody's
like,
really nice, and also all the snare drums sound the same, and all the guitars sound exactly the same. And you put on the radio, and it all sounds exactly the same,
Yeah.
and everything is.
It's a good algorithmic
And we are
Spotify
trying,
groove.
and we don't write the same song twice. So
No.
like, where like you brought up a band.
right.
I won't call them out, but they're a UK band. You went to their show,
Right.
and every song, and all the tones sound the same, and like, it's just important to us that we
We don't wanna do that.
It's like Zen in the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. You've read it.
Right.
It's
I was
about
a young person,
quality.
yes, I read
It's
that.
about quality. But a huge theme in the book is
Right.
quality.
Yeah.
And what does it mean for something to have quality? And so much, like, we don't even know in this country what quality means anymore because everything's made in China. We don't make anything. And it's like the same thing with music. Like, our music sucks. And there's a lot of bad rock music. And we're just trying to make something of quality.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Without a lot of money, too.
Yeah. And it's like, if anything, it was like when we were recording it and shit, like, we didn't know, like, I was learning how to use, like, a DAW, Logic, but whatever.
Right.
I recorded it in Logic, and, like, I didn't know what I was doing, but I
Yeah.
think it worked to our advantage because our drum sounds and shit don't sound like every other indie
Each
rock
song
band record.
It has a
right
different
now.
production
Yeah.
style, and Ian literally learned how to do it right at the beginning of this process, and by the end of it, I don't think I'd trust anyone else to do it.
Yeah.
So you just learn how to do it.
And it ain't about, like, doing, like, this whole DIY thing. It's like, it's a sound bite.
if
Yeah,
we
why is
had
it
loads of
soundbite?
money,
Right.
we'd let someone help us. But
If
I
the
mean,
labels were interested, if
but, yeah.
anyone in this goddamn music business was interested, we might be interested.
Anybody,
But in
anybody,
the
yeah.
absence of it, we have to do it.
So with this interview, we
ourselves.
should flip this
Yeah.
to the front of the interview so
Yeah,
that
sure.
they catch that.
Yeah,
You
sure.
know, the
Yeah, yeah,
interested
yeah.
parties.
Send checks
And we can
to
run a
Twen
1-800 number
Enterprises.
at
Yeah.
the bottom of the. We can do that, right? Yes. we
Yeah,
can do
P.O.
that. The Chiron.
box.
Do you have a P.O. box, by the
No,
way?
no, we don't. We got rid of it.
Used
Huh.
to.
Yeah.
I figured you might because you were,
Used to have it
Yeah.
on Woodland.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go. Yeah. Thank you all for being here.
Yeah.
Seriously, it was a real pleasure, and getting to see, being the crowd of I think 2 of us. Thank you for, putting forth a great performance, even though you don't have a room to play with right now.
Mm-hmm.
People still appreciate it.
Love
yeah.
a vacuum.
Yeah. In our sleep.
Yeah. Yeah. Excellent. Thank you.
Thanks, Jason.
It's been the tits, Jason.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
So long.